Unfortunate, man. It's just truly, truly unfortunate. So the next game is tomorrow against the Valkyries. And this is a morning game too, July 9th. I don't think she come back. Let's check out their schedule before we get into this information that was revealed by this medical expert, man. Like I stated, dog, this here is just, you know what I'm saying? The game after that. Then they come back Friday. They play the Dream. Now these games are at home. Now I did let you guys know that they do got a 5-game home stretch. Well, they had a 5-game home stretch.
Why has Caitlin Clark taken the unprecedented step of cutting all ties with the Indiana Fever's medical team? Could this shocking decision signal the end of her time with the team entirely? Stick around as we unpack the growing mistrust, recurring injuries, and what this means for her future. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Caitlin Clark adding all that muscle a little bit too quick, fast, and in a hurry could be part of the reason why she got injured, bro. Now, with that being said, that's not to take away from how physical the league been. Now, I am here to tell you guys, Caitlin Clark has been missing in action for quite some time, man. She's been missing a lot of games this season. I did a video yesterday kind of letting y'all know, man, I feel as if it's my theory. You have to have this be considered as well. Caitlin Clark adding that muscle a little bit too quick played a pivotal role in what we seeing today, bro. It's just unfortunate, dog. Me personally, I don't think Caitlin Clark come back until All-Star break.
Why would Caitlin Clark, one of the brightest stars in basketball, refuse to work with her team's medical staff? It's the kind of move that stops you in your tracks because it's not just rare, it almost never happens. But that's exactly what's unfolding between Clark and the Indiana Fever. To understand how it got to this point, you need to think back to instances like Kawhi Leonard's infamous fallout with the Spurs, where trust between player and team completely broke down. Except this time, it's Caitlin Clark, and she's making it crystal clear. She doesn't trust the system that was supposed to protect her. Imagine this. Clark is battling groin and quad injuries this season.
But yeah, man, next after that, they got the Sun. I don't see her coming back for that one. Then you got the Liberty. Don't see her coming back from that one. I feel like that the time limit with this injury has definitely played a pivotal role in her return. But you gotta, you know what I'm saying, look at the puzzle pieces. And, you know, ultimately after that, they got a couple of days off because of the All-Star game. Now, that'll be in Indy, but I feel like Caitlin Clark will play in this year's All-Star game.
The kinds of issues that make every jump shot and fast cut a struggle. And instead of leaning on the Fever's medical team, she's gone outside to seek care from independent doctors. But that's not all. She's even keeping those medical records completely private, not letting the Fever's staff see what's going on with her rehab or treatment plans. That's a bold step, but it also speaks volumes about her mindset. She's saying, without directly saying it, that she feels the team's medical approach just isn't cutting it. These injuries aren't just wear and tear, they're part of a bigger pattern.
Caitlin Clark has missed the last 4 games and will miss tonight's game against the Los Angeles Sparks. Explains why her groin strain was never a day-to-day injury. All aligned, bro. With all that being said, let's check out what this doctor had to say. So, this right here was released yesterday. It stated, when will Caitlin Clark return? I do want to let y'all know, before we get into this video, this is something that I want to say and talk about. Now, we know the front office and Stephanie said this was going to be a day-to-day thing. Basically saying that, you know, it was a day-to-day thing. It wasn't that bad.
Back in her college days at Iowa, and even through her rookie season, Clark barely dealt with this level of physical setbacks. Now, in the WNBA, she's missed games, struggled to regain her rhythm, and even looked visibly hampered during matches she probably wasn't ready to return for. It raises serious questions. Are the Fever's medical protocols structured in a way that's actually helping their franchise player? Or could there be lapses, maybe even negligence, that are exposing Clark to unnecessary risks?
And me personally, I feel like the organization need to be held accountable, bro, for letting her put all that muscle on that fast, dog. Let's check out this footage real quick. Basically, could this be the same injury? Could the Indiana Fever front office be lying to the fans? Was Caitlin Clark never really ready to come back? I don't know, but it is looking spooky. We need Caitlin back in a major way. They've been lying to us, bro. I just hate to break it to everybody like that. But when you look at this thing as a whole, they have been lying. And they have been withholding information to the public, to the fans about Caitlin Clark injury.
And let's not ignore the mental impact here. Clark isn't just dealing with the pain and frustration of being sidelined. She's grappling with the idea that the very people who are supposed to support her might be letting her down. At this point, it's not just about injuries, it's about trust. Could this wedge be enough to push Caitlin Clark out of Indiana altogether? That's a question worth asking. Imagine being Caitlin Clark, one of the most explosive players in basketball, and finding yourself in a system that puts handcuffs on your game. That's exactly what's happening in Indiana. Coach Stephanie White has adopted a structure where Clark is pushed off the ball, letting dual ball handlers run the floor instead. It's a complete misfit for her strengths. Clark isn't just another shooter or secondary option. She thrives when the ball is in her hands, when she's setting the tempo, creating plays, and dictating the game. But instead of leaning into what makes her great, the Fever are forcing her into a role that's simply not her. Think about players like Peyton Manning. The Colts didn't stick him in a rigid system or ask him to just hand the ball off. They let him read defenses, call audibles, and unleash his brilliance. That's how stars excel. But for Clark, the Fever have taken the opposite approach. The results speak for themselves. When she's not allowed to call her own game, the entire offense sputters. And when she's off the court because of injuries, things get even worse. The Fever are barely holding a record above .500. But here's the bigger issue. This isn't just about X's and O's. It's about understanding who Caitlin Clark is as a player. When a team doesn't respect the unique brilliance of its star, it sends a message. Clark's game isn't built to fit into a cookie-cutter role. It's built to elevate everyone around her. Yet, the Fever's refusal to adapt their system feels less like a strategy and more like a failure to appreciate what they have. It's no surprise there's tension within the team. Clark thrives when she's empowered, but the Fever are doing the opposite of that, and it could cost them more than wins. If they can't figure it out, how much longer will she stick around? Could another team, like the Liberty, give her exactly what she needs? The way things are going, it's a question worth asking. Caitlin Clark cutting ties with the Fever's medical staff isn't just about injuries. It's about a team failing its star player. Imagine being in her position, questioning whether the organization values your health and longevity. This move isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. It's the result of repeated frustrations with how her injuries and recoveries have been handled. The Fever now face a massive decision. Will they adapt to protect and empower Clark, or let her walk away to a team that will? If they can't fix their approach, this isn't just a loss for Clark. It could change the Fever's future entirely.